Good evening. How y'all doing tonight? So I took some notes. Um, I'm going to start with the last one I wrote down because I think it's the most important. Okay. Before you help others, you help yourself first. You fix yourself first. Okay. Now, during this process, it is always important to never diminish, discredit, dishonor. You get what I'm saying? Like, don't dismiss or discredit somebody else's abuse, trauma, or assault. Never. Okay? This causes further mental health issues in the patient. Okay? And the person that's dealing with the issues. If they're not a patient, so let's just call them the person. Okay? If you were the mental health practitioner, you were trained not to do that to begin with. But I have witnessed with my own ears and eyes at the VA as a so-called mental health professional looked at me in the face and said I'm fucking lying. That man was suffering from post-traumatic stress and he had trust issues. So nothing that came out of anyone's mouth was ever believed. So nobody ever got proved through him. That's something I found out. So I gave up years ago. I said, fuck it. And if you're getting into this field, whether you're just like a employee in one of the offices or life coaching stuff or some kind of certificate to be around these type of people to help them in some way. I know on a professional level you have to have at least one degree like I got, plus all my other diplomas and degrees and shit, whatever. The biggest issue, I keep looking down at it because it's just like, it blew my mind when I read this today. Okay, it is highly important that you never diminish, discredit, dishonor somebody else's trauma, the assault, the abuse. Okay? Because everybody's stuff is at different levels. Okay? Different things trigger people in different ways at different levels. Okay? It is important that you also don't play into any post-traumatic stress delusions. Okay? I'm calling them a delusion because memories get skewed and it feels real. Okay? I had a couple of those moments myself when I first came back that like the memories were meshing wrong, like it was two separate lifetime, like civilian life, military life, and for whatever reason my mind kind of meshed a memory and a current lifestyle and it didn't work out too well. But I realized what I was doing and I corrected myself and moved on. Okay. Now, with people with severe mental health issues, this is a prolonged thing and it literally becomes a full-blown dementia in the person. It could be because of all kinds of reasons. And the lying thing is a part of it. Um, the development of all these narratives and scenarios in somebody's head. It's like an ever-turning spin. Okay. Now, for somebody that has just like a trauma and they don't have so much of the mental health issues, but you still have lingering mental health concerns and tendencies and shit like that. Okay, you could seem like a normal person, but you could have extreme anxiety and nobody would know it. Okay, or you could have an addiction to sex, or you drink in the closet, or you smoke in the closet, or something that you keep from somebody else. Okay, that is also a coping mechanism. It's all wrapped up in one. Okay. Um, there are things that only a mental health professional in their office can evaluate, assess, and diagnose. Okay? While at the same time, that practitioner cannot be dismissive of every last thing. They have to use critical thinking. Okay? Discernment. It is very important to use discernment. Okay? I'm going to actually go into what discernment means and all that stuff, the cognitive stuff, in another video. But for now, the topic here is not diminishing in any way, discrediting or dishonoring whatever has happened. Okay? If the person that's dealing with these issues feels at any point that their trauma is not being believed, the things that have happened to them have been discredited. Basically what I'm saying is, if you are being told you're a liar, or you're lying about a certain person, place, or thing or event that has happened, okay, that makes further mental health issues, making that patient believe that they're crazy. It didn't happen. Okay? But when in fact it did physically fucking happen. Okay? And I and all these other people were in their scenarios, in their event, in that moment, in their lifetime. Okay? And I fully understand what it's like to have a mental health professional, so-called, look me in the face and say that I'm lying, I'm making shit up for attention, or I want money, or I want drugs. First and foremost, every veteran wants that fucking money. Okay? That shouldn't be a fucking question. They owe us a lot. In the Constitution it says we are entitled to 1,000 acres and to be left in peace. You can look that up for yourself. I've made that a shortened version. Okay? We don't get that. They owe us. Alright? I lost track. I squirreled, didn't I? Shit. I squirreled on that one. Those subjects really get on my nerves. Okay? I can't believe I just lost track. Anyway, laugh at me. If you can't laugh at yourself, there's something wrong with you. Anyway, let's try and get back on subject. Using your discernment because of the mind meshing wrong memories and creating full-blown delusions in your head, whether it be just in your head or somebody's making you feel like you're delusional. Okay? If a mental health professional at the VA or out in the civilian world wants to try and argue with you that you're delusional, well, I'm telling you right now, if you could plug my brain in, you'd see I was fucking there. Okay? And this side of my face has a scar going down here like this. Okay? It doesn't grow in that well right here on my face, on my beard. I leave it long so it doesn't look so noticeable. But it's all wrinkled right there. It's right in my hairline. Actually, you can kind of see it right in there. Yeah, a little bit. Once that was healed up, and years later I went to the VA, they looked at me like I was fucking crazy, like I was making shit up. Because all you can see is the fucking stitch holes all the way across my fucking face. It was only in my fucking... Anyway, they try to play me for a sucker, like I'm making shit up. Okay? They eventually found out the whole shebang, that I wasn't making it up. But during that time period when I was stressing that, like, this fucking happened, it really fucked with my head, made me feel like I was crazy. It did. Okay? Now just imagine what a woman would feel like if she was told that the rape never happened. It was in her head. Seriously. It would hurt me for a mental health professional to tell me I wasn't there when I was a kid. It would hurt me for them to tell me that I didn't get my ass whooped twice. The last time was right before I went to boot camp. Before that was like a year and a half prior. But context. I hid out into Killer Hills for a while, days. And that part really fucking stung. When you're a witness and you try to save your little sister, even from the brainwashed rape, that's what happened. These jackasses have the audacity to say, oh, that didn't happen, you don't have any right to even think about that kind of stuff. I'm like, wait, what? Yeah, so never diminish, discredit, or dishonor the person. Never. You don't know what they're dealing with. You don't know how severe it is. And you don't know what's going to trigger them. Okay? A trigger will set off their mental health or PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. It is post-traumatic stress disorder because you never had a chance to deal with it then. And a lot of times it gets overlooked and nobody even tries tries to help that veteran or that civilian with whatever they have going on. They just blow it off. He's crazy, blah blah. He's an asshole. He's whatever. I've even been called retarded. I bet I looked retarded. I bet I looked fucking crazy as shit. My beard was down here. My hair was past my shoulders, like down there in my elbow. And I was talking all kinds of weird fucking shit. Conspiracy shit. I look fucking crazy. But during that time period is when I was really waking up to the world, how fucked up it is. Yeah. There are multiple scenarios I can think of for personal and for other people and things that I've read. It just sets off the mental health issues even worse. And for those that have never had traumas and believe that they've had a pretty peaceful life, the parents were, good to them, and the parents were together their whole life, and they never had any kind of family squabble shit issues. People like that have the tendency to not believe in trauma issues. Or try to say, oh, you're just a little pussy, you're a little sissy, grow the fuck up, blah, blah, blah. Nah, ain't that easy. For all those people that have grown up and never had trauma until they were an adult, then they realize it's not so easy to forget. It's not. And it does end up being a visceral, physical reaction in the body. If you keep it bottled up and don't deal with it, it will cause physical ailments. It will cause disease. Dis-ease becomes disease. Literally. Literally. Your mental health could fuck up your body, and it gets labeled as something else. Or a known medical issue, but they have no known cause for it. Yeah, they do. It's your mental health. Okay? Everything you consume, even the information, which is also your day-to-day, every day, with all the interactions with people, places, things, and your events, it's consumed into your memory. Okay? If any part of that shit during that day or life has impacted you in a bad way, and you keep it bottled up, you are going to start having some fucking weird fucking shit going on, like stress, anxiety. That's the light stuff. But if it's a major trauma, it will fuck up your body. So that's why therapy is recommended at all times. Okay? Some people's minds are very linked to their body more so than others, and they will display physical ailments from mental health. Okay? I've had several evaluations over the years, and a few of them said, man, damn, you're doing pretty fucking good for a guy that's got all this shit fucking going on. I've had them fucking sit there and do these 200 question fucking evaluation things, and they all come back saying, you're pretty strong-minded. Well, people with high IQ usually do. But also, people with high IQ have anxieties such as not being good enough, trying to be an overachiever, trying to prove that they're good enough. That's a small mental health issue after all the things that I've let go of. That's one of the smallest things I got. I just have that drive to fucking be successful. It's not really a mental health issue unless it's impacting my life or somebody else's life in a very negative way. For right now, it's just a motivational drive to know that I can do better. And there's somebody I need to help. I just have to help me first. Get all the shards to that puzzle, that 3D puzzle, to make that crystal ball so I can more readily and easily see where I want to go in the future. Okay? Don't allow weird random people on your TikTok or YouTube just badger you and say you're lying about your trauma or your issue or your day-to-day or whatever. Just fucking block them. Okay? Don't contend with it. Don't try to argue with it. Just boot them off your platform. Block them. And just keep moving forward. Don't dwell on the comment, delete it. Don't dwell on the message they send you in the background. Okay? If it's disheartening and they ain't got the balls to say it on camera and post it to their TikTok, it ain't worth it. Okay? Now, I will be screenshotting anybody that sends me death threats again. Yeah. That shit'll get publicized. Sheriff's Department's gonna have fun. Yeah, anyway, we won't go there. What else? Yeah, okay, so first, don't diminish or discredit the trauma, assault, or abuse. Okay? And don't allow others to do that to you. Now, this one, the truth will set you free, but first, it will piss you the fuck off. The first steps to healing. And sometimes this applies to an intervention. I don't think I should be in charge of an intervention yet. Because I would sit here on camera and talk directly to somebody and call them out for every last fucking thing. I'm like, well, here's your son. Only because the truth will set you free. Okay? I keep saying it over and over again. I'll stop banging on the fucking table. If you are worried about what people may say, think, or do, if they knew your truth, your history, you're worried about what people say, think, or do, you're anticipating or worried about being judged about your past. If you are fearful of being judged or accusing people of being judgmental towards you, you are not healed. I don't look at motherfuckers and say, oh, you're being judgmental. About what? Because I disagree with something? Hell no. It's not judgmental if somebody disagrees with you, your lifestyle, your choices. some of us have pretty high standards of morals and ethics that, one, personally, I can't let go of. Two, I'm ordained. I have to uphold these things I took a vow to protect. Okay? I also took an oath to protect children. I have several certifications in child advocacy. I spot shit easily. I'm a psychotherapist. I've got more shit I got to keep going on. Okay? I've got child psychology and more certifications in child psychology. I did psychology and then those certifications with that, and now I'm doing child psychology and more certifications with it together. Okay? You gotta build them up together. You can't just, I got this, go look at my wall. No. You gotta get all the pieces. Okay, that's what I'm doing. You gotta really try. You really gotta try. There are there are so many different things you need to learn. Okay? Don't settle on your laurels. Okay? Well, at the same time, take the time to heal yourself and be that badass person. Okay? My mind's swirling because I'm looking at that and looking over here at the monitor, and I want to say more, and we're reaching about 27 minutes now. I will make more about these subjects. Basically, this was just to make sure everybody understands not to discredit these things, and don't let any other people discredit you. Okay? If it actually physically fucking happened, ain't nobody gonna tell me it didn't happen. Keep it that simple and short. Anyway, I just got back from Wichita Falls a little bit ago. Had to go clean up the house and mow the front and backyard. I got my ride mower here, so I ended up having to go get a push mower. I didn't want to push that yard to begin with. That's a big yard to push by myself. So I'm pretty fucking whooped. Anyway, y'all have a good night. Stay busy in a positive way by doing these things, your education, and move forward. Yeah, I'm doing it again. Y'all have a great night. I'm going to start digging because I just keep having more and more ideas come to my head. So, good night. And that's going to make me look like an ass.